for a second talk about these grilled cheese sandwiches
that we just had
before the show?
That was a treat.
That
was a real treat.
I think the best things in life are like the unexpected things. Like I expected a quality grilled cheese sandwich. What was brought to me, I'm wondering if Emerald's walking around the campus.
You think so?
Like,
moms just have a way to make things taste better.
Made with love.
You know, made with love.
Is made with love a real thing? Like that's a real thing.
It doesn't have to be your mom. That's the thing.
No, it doesn't.
It might be a little more special because it's your mom, but moms they get it.
They make simple things taste a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
They do. I like the way you put that. Arch Manning commits to the Texas Longhorns. The NBA draft is tonight. We'll break down our top 5 picks. And I have a few words for the coward that is the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. I made the case for Arch Manning to choose Texas for a multitude of reasons. One being that Steve Sarkisian is offering PhD-worthy lessons for quarterbacks. Alabama and Georgia have been dominating, so he can be the one to resurrect the mega brand that is Texas football. And the depth chart works out somewhat well for him, seeing that Quinn Ewers will be 1 year away from being draft eligible when Arch steps on campus. Now, NIL is a huge part of recruiting now, and Texas has a vault full of gold. But I do believe the decision was a little bit deeper than that. It seems there's a good chance that Arch Manning may redshirt his first year, which would be the best thing that could happen to him. And while that may surprise people, the Mannings make very calculated moves when it comes to this. He may need some more time. Look at the competition he's playing against. But while all the focus will be on Arch, and I understand it, I believe we can now really start to say that Sark may be the best quarterback recruiting head coach in the country. There are a lot of good arguments to be made for other guys. I'll give it to you. Lane Kiffin, Ryan Day. There's a couple others you could throw in there. But think about who Sark has recently landed. He got Bryce Young to go from Cali to Bama. He got Ewers to transfer in, and he just landed Arch Manning. Nobody is bringing in better talent at the most important position than Sark is, at least on paper. And we've seen it on the field with Bryce, and we're going to see it with Quinn. But it's not about who you bring in. It's about what they do when you get them there. Sark has the tools to work with, and all the recruiting hype is great. But if Texas doesn't start showing it on the field, it'll all be for naught. Now, there's been a lot of great recruiters that didn't know how to maximize the talent that they had. And the jury is still out on Sarkisian for that. Now, will Arch live up to the hype? It's almost going to be impossible, but this kid has handled the process tremendously, even with all the surrounding hoopla, which is out of his control. He'll most likely be the starting quarterback when Texas actually enters the SEC. So get ready for some storylines when that happens. And landing Arch is only going to help Texas wrangle in more talent than if they didn't, because elite prospects want to play for someone that could get them the ball, which in turn helps get them the bag. You're getting your pawns lined up on the chessboard, Sark. I can see it. Now let's see if you can pull a Bobby Fischer when the game comes on. I'm going to bring in David Cohn. I'm going to bring in Blaine. And listen, there's people that are saying Arch is overhyped. And I get it. He's got to show it on the field. I think Holstein is right up there with him. Mm-hmm. I don't think Arch is as generational as what some people think. But in that same token, the kid has a chance to be really special.
Oh, yeah.
He comes from the best pedigree you can as a quarterback. And I think you do have to give Sark credit for landing these studs back to back to back. And I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. But Cone, does Texas make the move that all the Texas fans want in the next 3 to 5 years? Are they going to elevate themselves?
I think Sark's the guy, man.
You do.
Bring Texas back. But they've had good coaches. A lot of these coaches who were there are great football coaches. But you made a few interesting points. First of all, you called this one, say he was going to Texas. I had him going to Georgia. I think you had Alabama maybe, even though the Holstein kid was already committed. And look, Alabama's big on Holstein.
They are.
They really like him, so as far as just a pure passer goes. But another point is, even if he doesn't end up being the greatest quarterback in the history of Texas football, like you said, this is a huge commit for them because he'll get other guys to come.
Oh, you're going to see it in the next couple of days. You know, the dominoes will just start falling around him because just like we talk about the transfer portal, people are like, oh, where's Jordan Addison going to go? Where's this wide receiver going to go? Why? I had Auburn fans. Well, why isn't any of these big-time receivers coming to Auburn? I'm going somewhere where you can get me the ball.
So let's work through the timeline really quick here. So Sark I mean, Texas was good on offense last year.
They were.
Didn't have a lot of weapons, but they had one of the best running backs in the country who is returning in Bijan Robinson. They got the Quinn Ewers kid to transfer from Ohio.
Yep, who's already had a red shirt.
He's already redshirted, right? So he'll be a redshirt freshman,
Yes,
right?
so he has 2 years, just 2 years.
Likely to win the job this season.
Yep, and I'm
right?
guessing
2
Arch will
years.
graduate early this
And
year.
Arch is going into his senior year for 2023. So, yeah, break down the timeline a little bit more and include when Texas could possibly go to the SEC.
Well, you're hearing from a lot of people that it's going to be a little bit before Texas and Oklahoma join. There are a lot of people that legitimately think it won't be until 2025. So if you look right now going into the 2022 season, Quinn Ewers is going to be the guy. So going into the next year, I'm guessing you'll see Arch after the season be an early enrollee going into next year. So Quinn Ewers redshirt sophomore year, which means you're draft eligible. That's 3 years out. I believe Quinn will be the starter. I think there's a good chance that Arch is going to redshirt. There's a lot of people out there saying, well, whoever doesn't win the job in 2023 is going to transfer. I think the Mannings are smarter than that. If anybody knows that Arch maybe physically, if you look at him a little bit physically, he's got some growing out to do. If you look at the teams he plays against, the competition isn't the greatest. Maybe the Mannings know that he needs a redshirt year because they're smart enough to understand that. People on the periphery will be like, oh, no, he'll never redshirt. You'll never, ever see that. The Mannings are different. Like, they are different, they're calculated, and they're smart. And redshirting is the best thing that can happen to somebody, especially when you're going from high school to a place like Texas playing against the teams you're going to see. So I think you'll see Quinn Ewers leave after 3 years. I think the kid's going to be a pretty good player, have a chance to play in the league. He'll leave, and then Arch will be a redshirt freshman starting, possibly, if you look at it, in 2024, the season of 2024 to 2025, which is right when they're making that move. So if you look, again, the timeline really adds up. It really does add up. Imagine Texas, first year in the SEC with Arch Manning at quarterback.
Well, both of his brothers played in the SEC.
That's exactly
and that redshirt year might be even more important when you consider he was playing 2A ball, Blaine, which is something you've been talking about.
Which so much scares me. If you go watch his tape, I mean, the kid can sling it. Like, he can throw it. But you don't really know until you've gone against it. You've seen the speed and the size moving at the same time. And he's going to find that in Texas. I know it's going to be a couple years before they join the SEC, but I go back to what Jake said. This is going to be huge, not only just putting fans in their seats. Like, more people are going to buy tickets. They buy enough, but you better put a lot more fans in that stadium. Recruits, look, a receivers, you want to go to a place where you know a guy can sit back there and feed you the rock. You can actually play the quarterback position, not just throw it. Plenty of guys have arms. But understand being on the same level. Why do you think Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford, all these guys are so good? They're on the same level mentally, right? And that's so hard to find. And Arch is a smart guy. He's an X's and O guy. Does have a cannon. But, the hype, he'll never live up to it.
It's going to be impossible.
He'll never live up to that hype.
It's like Bronny trying to live up to the hype of LeBron.
But this is what Texas needed. Texas needed this because I think because Sark's a witch, all right? He's a top-tier witch when it comes to putting quarterbacks, getting them right, and making them be successful. If Arch is a hit, I'm telling you, Texas, with the recruits that I follow, with the transfer portal, can become very dangerous extremely quickly.
They're a mega brand.
Yes.
Like, they have the ship built. They just got to get people
right
in the
fits.
ship.
You need right fits in certain places.
Yeah. So, I mean, Sark has proven that he can call the X's and O's on the offensive side with the best of them in the world, right? Now he's proven he can recruit the best quarterbacks, whether he's an OC or whether he's a head coach. That's still not enough. When you look at the likes of what Kirby Smart is building, what Nick Saban has built, even what Dabo Swinney has done, with what Jimbo Fisher is doing, can he do the rest, which is build a complete program and on the defensive side?
That's the question, but I will continue to say this. Getting Arch Manning is great. You should be really excited about it. But if you're a Texas fan, you should be even more excited about the NIL opportunities y'all have created for offensive linemen. That is where you're going to bridge the gap. I know I sound like a broken record because I always say this, but you can have all the Arch Mannings in the world. You can have all the Julio Joneses in the world. But if you aren't good enough and have depth on the offensive line and the defensive line, you're not beating Bama, Georgia, or really Ohio State right now. Because, again, if I'm a Texas fan, it's not about just getting to the playoff. A lot of people have gotten to the playoff. We watch Oklahoma get to the playoff. We watch Notre Dame get to the playoff. We watch Cincinnati get to the playoff. We watched a lot of teams get to the playoff and get absolutely smacked because the difference is up front. What's the difference in the SEC when you really look at it? Why is the SEC the best conference? It's not because of wide receivers. It's not because of the corners. It's because of the depth, the talent, the speed, and the size on the offensive line and the defensive line. Because you can shut a play down very, very quickly up front. You can shut it down a lot quicker up front than you can in the back end. So to me, when I look at it, the NIL collective they've done on offensive linemen and who they bring in up front, that's when I'm going to know, because you said it earlier. Texas doesn't have a problem scoring points. Remember, they got out on Oklahoma last year, just was running them out of the gym. And what did they do? They fell apart on defense because they can't tackle. You need to be good up front, and you got to be able to tackle. Those are the two things that Texas has to do. The Arch Manning stuff is great. That's ice cream on the cake. That's putting racing stripes on a Lambo. You made it look even better, buddy, if that's your type thing. But if you can't stop people and you're not good up front, you're not beating Bama, you're not beating Georgia, and hell, I'm going to be honest with you, you're not beating Texas A&M.
Yeah. The ripple effect of getting Arch Manning, though, will almost get you better up front. Because if I have an offensive line, why would you not want to block for the one and only Arch Manning?
Yeah.
I mean, that last name will pull recruits on its
own.
own.
Oh, it will, for sure.
On its own.
But he'll pull more receivers than it will offensive linemen.
True, but you will pull offensive linemen. That's the big key right there. You're going to pull receivers. You're going to pull receivers no matter, because you're Sark. You're going to pull receivers. But Arch Manning back there, I mean, if you're offensive lineman, why not? Hell, if you're a defensive player, why not? You know you're going to be scoring some points, right? You know that. Let me go play it. This could just be big for Texas at a time where a lot of things are changing in Texas. At least they can almost put their hat on. Well, hell, at least we got one of the Manning kids coming out.
And now, don't forget, Sark's one phone call away from Peyton Manning. Hey, let's talk a little offense.
The ripple
now you're part of the team.
Is huge.
Now, because that's the thing. You get Arch, that means you get Peyton. That means you get Cooper. That means you get Eli. That means you get Archie. They're all rooting for you. Hey. So now you've opened up resources, too, on that side that are huge. And you won't hear a lot of people talk about that, but that is a big deal.
And if Quinn Ewers ends up being better, that's a good problem to have, too.
It's a great problem to have.
Right?
That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
If you're Sark, you're trying to create that competition. That's, again, why Alabama and Georgia, they're so good.
Boom, boom.
What's consistency, especially at the quarterback position.
What's the booster club say?
All right, Justin Decker says, Texas won't be good till the boosters get out of the way. I swear them and Auburn compete to see whose boosters can be worse.
We talked about that again.
Seems like it, because the coaches were good at Texas.
When you have everybody steering the ship at once, nobody's steering it.
Rich Castle said, Texas has had the recruits for the past 60 years, boys. Time to wake up.
No, I don't. If you look, especially defensively, like collectively, look at Texas's defenses we've seen in the past 10 to 15 years as opposed to what they used to be. That's where I think Texas fell off. We know Texas has had talent. I think the boosters have a lot to do with it, again, having their hands in there and stuff like that. But all it takes is one good year for Sark at Texas to have success and then be like, y'all, get off my back. I think it's time. I think football's cyclical. I think we're starting to get in that time where Texas is going to start work their way back.
And they've missed out on some of those huge quarterbacks.
They have.
Texas. I remember Matt Stafford, my year, came from Texas all the way to Georgia.
Yep.
They missed out on some.
Again, and Sam Ehlinger, and you can say this, and it's a cool story, and they didn't get the job done. You didn't get the job done.
All right, Joe C. says they always go for a flashy name but never get the substance or the right fit. Gary Patterson is a flashy name, but what the heck is he doing at Texas right now?
Just extra help. You see the top teams do this. There's a reason there's 40 coaches in the weight room, and you go to these facilities, and now that it's basically unlimited in the facility, there's people that help that are hired to change the napkins in the bathroom when the toilet tissue in the bathroom.
Is that what Gary's doing?
I'm not saying that's what Gary's doing. I tell you, though, Gary Patterson, Slytherin graduate. Watch him. He does this a lot.
Jonathan Herndon, hashtag Ask Cranico. What's up, Johnson? He said, will Arch have more impact on the field or in the stands?
Texas fans are going to show up.
Yeah.
I don't doubt Texas fans showing up. I think from getting even more money from a donor situation with the Arch, I think that's what you're going to see be the biggest kind of boost off the field. But on the field, Arch is going to be a good player. Is he going to be what everybody thinks? It's going to be really tough for him to do that. There's a lot of pressure on the kid. I don't think he's going to be this elite, unbelievable generational talent that we're talking about for the next 50 years. But I think he's going to be good enough to maybe do it. But I think Texas is going to be good enough around him to finally do it.
All right, Colleen Houston. What's up, Colleen? Does Arch have more or less pressure than Colt McCoy's little brother when he committed to Texas?
More. You're a Manning. You're a Manning. More. There's way more. Again, I mean, you've had two brothers or two uncles that have won a Super Bowl. You know, your father is Cooper Manning, who's, they said may have been the best one, a wide receiver, maybe the witch of all of them. And again, Archie Manning's your grandfather. Your last name's Manning. It is what it is. Like you were born with the pressure. The minute y'all had that gender reveal, you knew what was up. So that's just how it is.
All right, Mike says he's got a big question here. Will Arch say Omaha at the line of scrimmage or not?
Of course. This should be the first thing. The first play he's in there.
Omaha.
Omaha. It's outside zone.
All right, Rich Castle said Arch is Chris Sims 2.0. He's going to be a bust.
Ooh.
Again, I love you kind of staying in state with the comparison there with Texas and Chris Sims, but I think Arch is more cerebral. I think what Blaine was saying, again, you grew up, and I know Phil Simms was a hell of a quarterback, and I get it, but Peyton Manning and Eli and them, and I know you look at Eli and sometimes he looks, not like he'd be the smartest person you'd ask for a question, but these guys are football savants.
Oh,
again,
yeah.
he was raised in the waters. So, again, Arch Manning's going to know what's going on. He's going to know the checks. He's going to understand what he's looking at. He's going to understand leverage. He's going to understand the safety rotation, pre-snap and post-snap. So I don't worry about that side with Arch. But you want to get some rapid fire?
Let's do it. Here we go.
Let's do it.
NBA draft tonight. We have our mock top 5 here. Who wants to tell us first?
I'll go first. I think me and you have the same.
Yeah, we have the exact same.
Me and Blaine have the same. So you
great
can throw
minds
mine
think
out
alike.
there.
This is easy. It's not tough.
All right, so tonight, and again, it's pretty obvious who should be taken number 1. Again, Jabari Smith Jr. to me should go number 1. I've got Jabari Smith Jr. going to the Orlando Magic with the first pick. Bruce Pearl, put this man on the Mount Rushmore of Auburn athletics. You got Auburn to a Final Four in basketball. You had the number 1 pick. We're getting guys drafted in the top 10 all the time. We're making the tournament every year. I just woke up in Wonderland and was wondering what was
Bruce
going on.
is a true king.
True king. Jabari Smith going number 1 overall to the Magic. Shout out Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, Jabari Smith, Chuma Okeke, Jalen Suggs.
Markelle Fultz
Cole
bust.
Anthony?
Markelle Fultz bust. Is he a bust?
Getting close. You're going to have to do something soon. Do something real soon. Number 2, Chet Holmgren going to the Thunder. Think they're going to take him number 2. I'm not as big on Chet as everybody else is. I'm going to go Paolo Banchero going 3rd to the Rockets. Then Jaden Ivey. Sorry, bud. You got to go to the Kings. I think Jaden Ivey's the second best player in this draft. I think Jabari's the first. I think Jaden's the second. And then Benedict Mathurin. Better go on down to Detroit. Maybe head on down to see the Tropics.
But he's stoked.
Yeah, so that's
Jabari Smith's the best player in this draft.
He's the best player in the draft.
I mean, it's not
Hands down.
not that close. Hands
down.
Hands
Look,
down.
His hands are down.
hands down.
You
I
can't
heard
see him on
Chet-
audio.
I'd almost go Jaden at 2.
I'm with you.
I'd
If
like
it was a
that.
matchup thing, I mean, that's fine. I know the Rockets need a big, but Chet scares me, man. He scares me. He's tall but little. He's skinny.
You think he's a bust?
I don't think he's a bust. I think he's going to be a good player, but he's not going to be a great.
Well, let me ask you this. If he goes number 2 overall and he is just a good player, which means he makes 1, maybe 2 All-Star games, but isn't this dominant unicorn that everybody else thinks, that's a bust to me. That's a bust.
Are you saying that just because of Chet or just where he got picked?
Where he got, I mean, what do you mean? It's the same thing. It's
Well,
where
I
Chet
know.
got
I
picked.
think, well,
If you're top 3.
If you're going
Top
number
3?
2,
so you're saying he has to make an All-Star.
no. To me, if you're going number 2, within the first 3 to 5 years, we better start to see that you're a dog. I'm talking about making the All-Star game, being able to lead your team, being a player that is starting to become dominant or that has become dominant. I will say the same about Jabari Smith, say the same about Paolo. If you're top 5 to me, they're expecting you to not only make moves eventually, but make them pretty quickly. And Chet, I'm telling you, he won't be able to get to the rack as easy because he's not playing teams that parents sell sour straws from the concession stand at halftime, and there's volleyball lines on the court. I feel like if he was going to put on mass, he'd have done it by now.
Is Andrew Wiggins a bust?
Man.
I wouldn't use the term bust.
I wouldn't use the term
number
bust
1
because he
pick.
just was pretty dominant in an NBA Finals.
Well, he just made his first All-Star.
Yeah, but
a
I mean,
bust-
was
he was a
Andrew
bust for
Wiggins
the
balling
team who
before
drafted
this?
him.
But, I mean,
Andrew Wiggins was the number 1 overall pick. They were talking about he was going to be generational.
so
Up to this point,
Up to this point has been.
up to this point, but after what he did in the finals and kind of seeing that maybe he doesn't
about
want
Marcus
to be
Smart?
the main guy. Where's Marcus Smart?
Where was
picked?
Marcus
Third.
Smart drafted?
Third?
Third?
How many All-Star games he got?
I think 0.
I think 0. We'll look that up. I'm not
Defensive
100%
Player
sure.
of the Year this year?
Defensive Player of the Year?
0 All-Star games? We need to look
This
that
might
up.
have been his first one.
Yeah, I mean, you did just win Defensive Player of the Year.
But, I mean, he got drafted in what, 15?
I think it was Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma
I want to say
State,
Oklahoma
yeah.
State. But Chet, too, we got to understand who Chet is, Blaine. He's
That's what I'm
7'1". Marcus Smart isn't 7'1". This is supposed
We're
to
saying
be
top 3 pick.
We're
You're
saying
the
Kevin
hype of
Durant.
Chet. The hype
The hype
will
of
make
Chet.
him a
Yes,
bust.
I'm shocked.
I'm
he's
saying
not
off the
going
top
number
12
1.
picks.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes number 2, I mean, you got to do something, right?
He's supposed to be the unicorn, though. 7'1", can do as I'm telling you. He's going to get bullied in the NBA, and he's going to have. He's going.
I think he'll be a good.
I think he will be like you're saying, just good. I don't think he's going to be dominant. I don't think he's going to be this
What could a
elite
comp
player.
for him be? Like
He's not going to be the best player from.
He's not going to be Dirk, is he?
No.
I mean, he's not going to.
No, hell no.
A poor man's Porzingis?
Maybe.
Porzingis?
A Porzingis?
Poor man's Porzingis.
Bring mine up real quick. Mine's very similar.
Go
but I want to see the kid Jaden Ivey go to Houston at 3.
That's
what I want to see.
Okay.
I like Jaden Ivey.
Jalen Green.
Almost taking 2, to be honest with you. But the Rockets are making moves. I like Jaden Ivey to go there. And I think Benedict Mathurin going to Detroit, that's a big pickup.
Benedict, again, dude from Arizona that was a cold-blooded killer. I know they got bounced earlier in the tournament. I had him winning the NCAA tournament. But more times than not, Benedict Mathurin was a cold-blooded killer
NBA player.
when it came down to it. True NBA player. And if they put Jaden Ivey and Jalen Green together, it's going to be a high-flying. It's going to be like watching the Globetrotters.
It's going to be a track meet.
But I think Jaden Ivey can just step on the court right now. And
I think he could. Offensively,
he's probably the most pro. To be honest with you, pro-ready. They probably just had the high ceiling at the position right now for next year. I'd go Jaden and Benedict.
I'd say from a scoring standpoint. Jabari does not get enough credit for the defender that he is. Jabari is a hell of a defender and moves
athletic.
So much better than Chet does. Laterally, he bends better, in my opinion. I know Jabari's 6'10.5" and Chet's 7'1". I get it.
Well, this almost comes back to the Arch Manning. He plays in a 2A argument. You know, Chet, I mean.
Well, Gonzaga played. Look. I do want to say Gonzaga did play in the NCAA tournament, and we were able to see Chet. But I watch like the way Arkansas and like these scrappy, physical teams beat Chet up, and he didn't like it. Now, Chet, I do got to give him credit.
Some clips, actually.
I don't think he is soft because he would take it to the rack. I don't think he is physically strong enough to be able to take it to the rack like he did consistently at Gonzaga. Because there are grown men that are as tall as you and 10 times as wide as you down in the paint. All right, let's run the clip. This is Gonzaga. Looks like it's against some JV girls middle school team.
Well, yeah,
let's go and run the
clip.
clip.
This is value he was able to add in college that I don't think he's going to be able to do right away in the NBA.
Yeah, you can see him again on
the difference on that, you're getting dunked on.
You're getting dunked on. That guy.
Yeah, you're getting dunked on. You get posted like that close to the goal, you're getting turned around and probably dunked on.
I mean, you can see him again just reaching over people. That's not working in the NBA. You're not doing that. Boban's 9 feet tall, and he's not doing that in the NBA. I'm telling you guys right now, if I'm the Thunder, I'm not taking Chet at 2. I'm not doing it.
Let me ask you this. Would you take Walker Kessler or Chet?
I'm taking Walker Kessler over Chet.
Really?
Oh, hell yeah. For sure. For sure. At least Walker.
Well, Walker has to become a lot better scorer.
He's, okay, my thing about Walker Kessler is this. They obviously play 2 different positions, and they're 2 different type players. But Walker Kessler, I think you're going to see him really improve that three-point shot in the NBA. And let's make no mistake, you got a little more space in the NBA, too, defensively during the regular season and stuff like that. I think Walker Kessler, when we look back 5 years from now, we will say that Walker Kessler, was a better choice than Chet Holmgren.
So you think a team should – so if you had the number 2 overall pick, would you just take someone completely different than both of those? Or would you? Are you saying you'd take Walker Kessler all the way up that high?
A lot of it comes down to need. But if I was saying I need a, 4 or 5 or somebody that I'm going to rely on to be able to be somewhat effective down low, I would take Walker over Chet. I just think they're 2 different type players. I think you're going to see Chet get bullied. I think you are. Blaine, what does the Booster Club say about it?
River says Boban is an actual giant.
He is. He's a Nephilim.
Colleen Houston said, based on his name alone, Chet is a bust. Who names their kid Chet?
I know.
We got to stand up for the Chets in the world, man.
I don't know.
There's a guy named Chet listening to this
Papa
show
Link 90
right
says Chet is the Darko of 2022.
Darko Milicic. I like that. I like that call, Papa Link.
Miguel Cabrera says Chet should go to the Spurs. Let Pop make a man out of him like Mulan.
Look, be a man, you must be swift as a raging tiger and as mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
All right. David Atkins says Greg Oden would have been awesome, but he just had bad knees.
And feet. Greg Oden's feet.
Jimbo Eagle says, true or false, Zion Williamson is becoming the Jamarcus Russell of the NBA.
Better start doing something soon, but I'm going to say false. Again, I don't know how much lean Zion drinks and how much he hangs out in Mobile, but again, Jamarcus was just as weird as Zion's been off the field with C.J. McCollum coming over in the trade and him not welcoming him and all that stuff. I do think Zion's head's a little bit more screwed on a little bit straighter than Jamarcus Russell, but let's continue.
All right, look, we have to talk about Shohei Ohtani. Followed up an 8 RBI night with 13 Ks on the mound. I mean, is he the most dynamic player in Major League Baseball?
Yeah, without a doubt. Again, we've talked about Shohei a little bit, and I want to run these clips. I hope everybody really understands what we're witnessing. Again, the guy gets on the mound. He's shoving 97 to 100. He's got a slider that's, stolen more lives than John Dillinger. And you watch him at the plate, he's an actual true hitter. He's not a guy up there just swinging for the fence. He makes good contact. He sprays the balls to all fields. And he's a next-level player on the mound and at the plate. Where, again, I am amazed at watching this guy. Like typically I have words and, I make a living talking. Watching what he is doing to major league hitters when he's on the mound and major league pitchers when he's at the plate, I really think we are seeing a true unicorn. We can call Chet a unicorn, Jabari a unicorn. We are seeing a true unicorn. He's just missing a horn, a mane, and a pretty pink satchel or whatever horses wear. My fiance is going to kill me for not remembering that. But again, guys, so think about this. Just think about this, Cone. You've got a guy. Think about it from a playoff standpoint, okay? In a 7-game series, you've got a guy that you could possibly start twice and can go shove, and a guy that can hit pretty much every night and can come up with 5, 6 RBIs, hit a home run when you need. You have the ultimate weapon, and it's the ultimate roster move because you actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You have an elite hitter, an elite slugger, a 5-tool guy, and an elite guy on the mound, but they only take 1 roster spot. It's like when you had when Lane Kiffin at USC had the scholarship probations. What do? Well, you sign a guy that can kick field goals, kickoff, and punt, and you have a backup tight end be your long snapper. You save 2 roster spots, the Angels are geniuses.
Okay, so you're saying he's a unicorn. You think he will continue to be an anomaly, or do you think that the evolution of the game, we will see pitchers be able to hit better like this?
I think you'll see people attempt to do it, but the level at which he is doing it is what separates it to me. It's one thing to have a guy. I remember watching Tim Hudson could hit. Rick Ankiel could hit, then he forgot how to throw. Mike Hampton is a name a lot of people forget, played for the Braves, could really hit. We've seen guys that have been able to do both. We have not seen guys that have been elite at both, like legitimately Hall of Fame talent at both. That's where the separation is to me. Not just that he does multiple things, but he does multiple things on an elite level, because those are 2 totally different things to me.
Yep.
I would agree. We are watching right now. This guy, it's just something different. But I do think, that the more we see this, the more players are going to try to do this, right? They're going to try to be the pitching and hitting, because now we know that it can be done to this level, but they probably won't reach this. This is a one-of-one type of guy. There's a reason he's on the front of the MLB and everything.
The precedent's been set.
Yeah, no, it's been set, but I wouldn't be surprised, maybe in the next 5 years, because if anything, if you're a baseball, if you're a guy who's trying to sell baseball, this man sells.
You should build the Major League Baseball market strategy around Shohei Ohtani, Ronald Acuna Jr., O'Neal Cruz when he continues to keep doing what he's doing, because we talk about freaks of nature and elite guys. Shohei Ohtani's unbelievable. O'Neal Cruz is a 6'7" cyborg at shortstop that's 97 miles per hour, throwing guys out at first base, runs 31.5 feet per second, and can probably take a penny off the top of a backboard. So we are starting to see the evolution of player and athletes. And you can really see it in baseball. In football, everybody's running fast, everybody's big, everybody's strong, everybody's hitting each other. In baseball, it really kind of stands out. You remember the way Randy Johnson used to look?
I do remember the way Randy Johnson used to
like
look.
He was throwing 120 miles per hour.
Wasn't he?
You have guys now that are that size playing shortstop.
We got to the point in the MLB where 97's normal.
Yeah.
That used to not be a thing. Whatever the new thing is, they're going to try and sell. But I'm telling you this right here, if you can sell the lifestyle of being a pitcher and a hitter, people are going to try to do this more.
Well, you were talking about striking me out earlier. You better be bringing 97 yourself.
I don't believe you.
At least not.
I cannot wait to see
I need nothing more than
and I'm in on it.
85.
You need nothing more than 85 to
I'm pitching you backwards.
Yeah.
K me.
I'm pitching you backwards.
Thanks for
I'm gonna go
telling
and
me
tell
in
you, I'm
advance.
going to start you with a changeup.
Thanks for telling me in advance.
I'm going to start you with
How many high fastballs will you swing at?
Oh, Cone.
lot.
Listen. Well,
It's a
Cone,
beach ball.
again, how
It's
do
a
you
beach
throw
ball
Cone a high
fest.
fastball?
Exactly.
It's a beach ball fest, but if I get hold of one,
Cone's hunting
you'll
a heater.
never hear the end.
Cone's hunting a heater.
Slider.
Cone's hunting a
he's
heater.
hunting. He won't.
He's hunting a heater, and I don't blame
He'll
him.
see a high.
But I'm going to keep my hands back.
high
And we're
outside
going to go
here.
the other way on that side.
I don't know if you are. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. The first one, maybe a little bit under the chin to get you off the plate a little bit. I feel like you're a guy.
I'm not going to do that.
Ain't going to scare me none.
I'm not going to do that.
We'll
no,
see.
you'll just hit me on accident.
You want to see
I'm just going to hit you with a way.
No, he'll hit you on purpose. That's exactly right. All right, if you want to watch or listen to the rest of the show, head over to thedailywire.com, become a member, listen on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, leave a 5-star review, share it with your friends and your closest enemies. I'm about to rip Roger Goodell a new one when we get back. We'll be back soon. Real leaders take responsibility when it's going bad, and they deflect credit when it's going good. Real leaders shoot you straight. They let you know where you stand, and they can admit when they make a mistake or if something isn't right. And right now, we have a real drought of leaders, not only in sports, but in general. A great example of this happened very recently. Congressman Jim Jordan questioned NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell on why the NFL has basically banned Dave Portnoy and fined Jack Del Rio for their beliefs. Here's his ridiculous response. Let's play the clip.
Commissioner, you believe in the First Amendment, don't you?
I do.
I mean, all parts of it, all rights we have. Your right to practice your faith, your right to petition the government, right to assemble, freedom of press, freedom of speech. You believe in all that.
Yes, Congressman.
Why do you ban Dave Portnoy from NFL games?
Pardon me, I couldn't hear your question.
Why do you ban Dave Portnoy from NFL games? He's a journalist. In fact, he's a sports journalist. Why is he banned?
Congressman, I'm not familiar with that issue. I'm happy to check with my staff, but I'm not aware of that. Yes.
Well, I think we're all aware of that. We're all aware of that.
Roger Goodell knows that everyone knows he's lying, but that doesn't matter to him. He knows there's no repercussions for it. So basically, he's pleading the fifth. How about you man up and give an honest answer for once? Tell us why Dave Portnoy is being singled out and why Del Rio got fined for just stating his basic beliefs. To me, you're a coward. You're in a position of power as the commissioner and you make money hand over fist, yet you can't give the fans, the ones who pay your salary, a straight answer. I guess there's something in the water these days, and I don't even live in Flint. Our leaders in all areas accept no responsibility. Most actually deflect the blame onto someone else. That's in all areas of our lives. They play us like fools, and they don't believe we deserve or can handle straight answers. We tell our children to be accountable, tell the truth, and don't run from your problems. Face them. Well, maybe we should start telling these so-called leaders or adults the same thing. And also, maybe they need to brush their teeth before they go to bed. Now, whether it's gas prices, food shortage, inflation, or football, when you have leaders who so blatantly cast the blame or duck tough questions, you actually don't have leaders, just a bunch of cowards in overpriced suits. And that's exactly what Roger Goodell is. And this ain't it. Look, it's the truth.
This surprised you?
No, it doesn't. That's what pisses me off.
It's the nipple league.
It's a joke.
League.
Like, we know, you know why Dave Portnoy can't go to NFL games. And you know what? I'd have a lot more respect for you as a man or as a human being if you would have just come out and said, all right, this is why.
And here, I'll give the answer. This is it. Because he sold shirts of me with a red clown nose on my face.
That's exactly right. You're a child. We are being led by children. Because you want to know why? Because when there's no accountability and when there's no repercussions for doing a bad job, why the hell would you care if you're transparent or do a good job? Just show up.
Yeah, Roger, we know you heard the question.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you heard it. And two, why do you look like you're about to cry? Are you okay? What's wrong? And three, it just shows us where we are in society. We're soft. We're soft when we need to be soft. That's why we did something of extra content earlier today that we talked about Roger Goodell and how soft and how fake he is. He is a puppet. That's all he is a puppet, and he's getting his strings pulled, and his strings come down to money. That's all that matters. He'll tell us what we need to hear because we're that dumb enough to listen and not dumb enough to do anything about it.
Well, again, it's the part that pisses me off is that it's all around. It's in everything. We have nobody that comes up in any part of life with our leaders right now that comes in and says, you know what? It is unacceptable. You're right.
I'd say two people.
Who?
leaders, but Dana White and Greg Sankey.
I'll give you those two. I'm talking about like in macro.
Yeah.
Like macro. People get behind and want to follow people that deflect the credit and take all the responsibility when it's not going good. That's who I want to play for.
Mm-hmm.
That's somebody who I want to lead me. Somebody that I know when I talk to them, they care about where I'm coming from because they know that I'm under them and they're going to shoot me straight. Nobody has the balls to take responsibility for stuff going bad. All right? You ban Dave Portnoy? Man up, Roger. Tell us why. Look us in the eyes and tell us. Stop running from everything. All right? The same thing with Jack Del Rio. Jim Jordan asked him about that. Oh, well, it's up to Ron Rivera and they can do whatever they want. The man got fined for stating his belief. I don't care if it was from Ron Rivera. I don't care if it was from his wife or if it was from the NFL. It's ridiculous. But you see it now. Oh, gas? Not our fault. Food shortage? Not our fault. Oh, baby formula shortage? Not our fault. Border? Not our fault. Somebody step up, please, and just be a man, a grown man or a grown woman, and take responsibility. Maybe you won't poll in the 30s if you actually man up and take responsibility for stuff going bad. But nobody wants to follow somebody that has no character and has no moral fiber when it's going bad. Because adversity does not build character, it reveals it. And when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And Roger Goodell and all these other people continue to show us who they are. It's about time we start believing them.
Well, there's no repercussions. They can do what they want.
Well, again, that's the problem.
People are just going to say, well, the NFL is the most popular sport. They're bringing in a whole bunch of money, better than it's ever been, so we're just going to leave more.
And again, look, because it's always about the money. It's 100% always about the money. That's what it will always be about. And I get that to a certain extent. But at some point, it's going to come back and bite you. It's going to come back and bite you. It's karma, whatever you want to call it. At some point, it's going to come back and get you. But what you're seeing right now, the reason people are all pissed off, the reason people don't like Roger Goodell, and the reason people love Dana White, when Dana White has a problem, what does he do? He confronts it and they talk about it. He doesn't duck it. Something happens, they're going to talk about it. Good, bad, or indifferent. They're going to talk about it. And that's the difference. That's the difference between people you want leading you and the people you don't want anywhere near you. And the person that Roger Goodell is, I don't want him anywhere near me. And I tell him that to his face. So
I agree. You want some Booster Club questions?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Jimbo Eagle, is Goodell worse than Adam Silver?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
So?
Because at least Adam Silver knows how to market the stars in the NBA.
I agree with that. River says, I live in Vegas. If y'all ever visit here, I highly recommend visiting the UFC headquarters.
Oh, we'd love to do that.
Hey, we want to come to the Grand Prix
every now
next
and then.
year.
Our boy Natan Levy, he's got a fight coming up. We had Mike Beltran, UFC referee, interviewed him. That's a great show. If you guys missed it, check the archives for it. What else, B?
Sister Rick says, how is Goodell still around? Amazes me.
Because, he's perfect.
So who replaces him when he finally goes?
It'll be another puppet.
His deputy.
It was the best way to put it. I don't know. Roger Goodell. I don't know. The thing, Blaine, you said it best. Roger Goodell really does nothing. He really does nothing. You make, what is it, like $42 million? It's something nuts per year to do nothing. Nada, zilch, nothing. And it's again, he's a placeholder. He's going to continue to be a placeholder. He's going to echo the thoughts on one side.
$63.9 million.
$63.9 million. You can't tell Jim Jordan the reason Dave Portnoy can't go to the NFL game. You pretended like you didn't know who that was.
He doesn't have to. Because, he never has his feet held to the fire or anything like that. The man's just making $60 million just to everybody else tell him what not to do wrong.
Yeah. Well, they said Google created a sentient robot. Like, I'm starting to think Roger Goodell may have already been one. I know.
No way they can be that dumb.
There's no way they can be that dumb?
No way they can be that dumb. I listened to that new robot. There's no way. First of all, scariest thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that at the end. I do not want to miss talking about that, the Google Lambda.
I had
Oh, you already got look at you.
Rathers, but never.
No. We'll do that. No. Leave that there. Leave that there. It has to be now, Cone. It has to be. All right, let's move along. You want to go a little NHL?
NHL, yeah. Look, the Avs take a 3-1 lead over the Lightning last night.
Go ahead.
Run
your victory lap, buddy. I saw it on the notes. Cone was right on the notes.
Yeah, you see that?
I saw that.
Well,
go ahead and take your run.
There's no lap to take.
There is.
It's just Vicky Valancourt. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
That's what it's going to be.
I'm going to say it. You know what? I'm going to say it. The Avs had 6 guys on the ice last night when they scored, when Kadri scored. They had 6 guys. We all saw it. It's erroneous. I almost didn't count the bets today.
Well, do you think?
I'm serious. You think I'm kidding?
Well, I went 0-2. Please don't count them.
They had 6 men on the ice when Kadri scored.
Hold on. Who hit a bet that depended on?
Well, it was the goal. Well, no.
Did we not all go 0-2?
Cone. I had the Lightning -1 and 3 goals are over. So if that goal wouldn't have counted in overtime and the Lightning would have scored, I'd have pushed on both of mine.
Well, yeah. If so, you're basically saying, look, I had the other team winning it. If they would have won,
no.
I picked. Yeah, I mean, look, let me do that game too. Okay, let me see what did I have.
I went back and looked, and Stamkos definitely scored that first goal. Ricochet off another ricochet.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny, I do have to say this before we get into the analysis, is Quater, who was 0-7, Booster Club, shout out Booster Club, put up last night. He was 0-7, and he was taking the under for the first 9.5 minutes, or no goals for the first 9.5 minutes for the NHL game. And I jokingly said, well, that means they'll score a goal within 30 seconds. 28 seconds into the game, they score a goal.
Man.
And that's the part that if you bet or you gamble on sports, that really upsets you. Because when you hit something not only right, but you didn't bet on it, those are the ones that keep you up at night. It's not the ones you hit, not the big parlays that you hit. And I've been hotter than Augustus Gloop in a sleeping bag in a chocolate river. But those are the ones that upset you the most. They had 6 on the ice.
So he's 0-8 now.
Lightning in 7.
I will say
Lightning
this. Cone.
Lightning in 7. Come on.
Cone. That game last night, after the Lightning scored quick, very similar to what they were doing the game before. The pace was somewhat similar to the game before, but the Lightning, for some reason, could not put the puck in the goal. And I got to give Darcy Kemper a little bit of credit behind there. After giving up that early goal, he really kind of recovered. But what did the Lightning let the Avs do every time they scored? They were able to get where? In the middle. And that's where the Lightning have typically been killing people. They say, listen, you can shoot from outside, you can shoot the 3 from the wing and the corner, but you're not getting down the middle. Once you get past the neutral zone, you might as well cut the middle of the ice off because you're not getting past it. But last night, the Avs were able to sneak in there. You even saw in some of the penalties they were able to sneak in there. That's what I think hurt the Lightning. It seemed like every time the Lightning would score, within a 2-minute span, somebody was in the penalty box for the Lightning, and the Avs are murdering people on the power play. When the Avs go on the power play, stop wasting everybody's time. Just put a goal up there and get the guy back in the game.
Yeah, well, I still like the Avs, but look, the Lightning still have Vasilevsky in goal. Still 2-time defending champions, right? They were down to the Rangers, won that series. They were down to the Maple Leafs early, won that series.
Well,
they can win the series.
Go back and look at these games. I mean, the first game was decided in overtime. I mean, the second game,
blowout Avs.
Right, then the Lightning.
Blowout Lightning.
And then
in overtime.
You know, I almost bet that game was going overtime.
Would have been a bad bet. Stamkos, you got to hashtag do more, buddy. You got to do more.
And he had a clean look too early. He had a really clean look early, and he fell apart. But it's tough. I will say the one goal Oboy scored, was it? I don't think it was Sorelli. Sorelli scored the first one. The second goal, the backhand that Oboy hit after he weaved between the two, that was nasty, Cone. That was absolute witchcraft and wizardry. But look, the Lightning have experience. I don't think they're going quiet in the night, man.
I want to ask you guys a couple trivia questions real quick.
Let's do it.
Okay? With the possibility of Jabari Smith or Chet Holmgren going number 1 overall, I want to ask for Thursday trivia, how many Auburn basketball players have been drafted in the top 5 all time?
Oh, in the top 5. Oh, this is a good one, David. I'm going to say, you got Isaac Okoro. Where did he go? Did he go 3? 3 or 5? Isaac Okoro, Jabari. Are we counting Jabari?
No.
We're not counting Jabari. So Isaac Okoro, Charles Barkley, and that's it. I'm going to go 2.
What about
Chris Porter? He didn't go that high. He was high, but didn't go that high.
When did Isaac go? Was it 6?
I want to say it's 5 or 6. I can't remember if it's 5 or 6.
How many are you saying? He has 2.
And you have Jabari and Charles.
No, not Jabari.
Isaac Okoro and Charles. Not counting Jabari.
I'd say 1.
No, 4.
4?
Chuck Person 4th. Chris Morris 4th, Charles Barkley 5th, and Isaac went 5th.
There's 3. We don't count Chuck Person for anything anymore. He's dead to everybody at Auburn.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3. Then 3. All right, how about Gonzaga? How many Gonzaga players were drafted in the top 5 all time?
Where did Adam Morrison go? I know Jalen Suggs went high.
Top 5. He won top 5. I don't think.
How many Gonzaga guys have gone top 5? 1.
1?
2.
It is 2. Jalen Suggs went 5th, and Adam Morrison went 3rd.
He went 3rd?
Yeah.
I didn't think Adam went that high.
Well,
Yeah, he had a stash. You talk about just a nasty.
You want to talk about?
yeah.
I know there's been a lot of moments in sports where I was hurt after watching a team lose, but watching the Adamson Moore Gonzaga team lose in the NCAA.
Who?
What's his name?
You say Adam Samora?
No.
Adam Morrison?
Yeah.
Oh,
But when I watched his team lose, man, and him just fall out on the court,
yeah.
that was rough.
Yeah, it's always tough to see
That was
people
rough.
lose, unless it's a certain group of people, which I'm not going to say.
Adam was built.
I love to watch you lose, and I will drink a bucket full of your tears when it happens and enjoy it. Drink it like Chardonnay. But got another one, or is that the only one?
that was it for
That's
well,
good.
yeah, that's
There's
it.
two good
I'm
ones.
going to I'll save this one for tomorrow.
Would you rathers?
We either have would you rathers or the greatest chokes in sports history. We can save some stuff for tomorrow too.
Let's do this. Let's save greatest chokes for tomorrow.
I want to spend the appropriate amount of time on that.
I want to
is
spend the
true.
appropriate
That
amount of
matters.
time.
Okay.
That does
That
matter.
What's your-
So that's in the YouTube description. We're going to kick that to tomorrow. Greatest choke jobs in history tomorrow. Lock it in.
All right, let's go to Would You Rathers.
Would you rathers? Okay. You know, we were talking about NFL higher-ups that maybe are not great leaders. I want to kick it off with this one. Would you rather be Dan Snyder this week or give Deshaun Watson a massage?
Oh God, Cone.
I would rather be Dan Snyder because I don't want to be anywhere near Deshaun Watson in a massage parlor. Yeah, well, I could get a good settlement.
Yeah, I'd probably hang out with Dan Snyder.
I'd be Dan Snyder.
He's above the law.
I'd be Dan
Yeah,
Snyder
I mean-
because you know what? I'm super rich and you guys are getting mad about stuff we did on my private plane. I would love to be in a position to someday get in trouble for things that happen on a private plane that's mine because that means I'm rich enough to own a private plane.
Well, Congress is like, Dan Snyder, we subpoenaed you. He's like, no, I'm out that day.
Yeah,
I'm out of the country that day.
I'm in
Yeah.
Barbados to the 13th.
yeah, he's like, listen.
Can we reschedule? No, I'm out that day too.
It's like we're having to clean up some things at a fruit roll-up factory. I don't have time to be able to come answer these questions about whatever happened. So,
I have one. I had two, but I got one of them shot down. So you want to hear my one?
Okay.
yeah.
Good. I'm glad that somebody
Would you-
is.
yeah,
I'm glad
these got
someone's
vetted,
looking
yeah.
over these and vetting
Would you
them.
rather be locked in a room with, what's her name, Megan Rapinoe,
Okay.
The other
and
one.
listen to her tell you about how your high school kids' sports don't matter? Or would you rather be Amber Heard's bed sheets?
Amber Heard's or Johnny Depp's?
Well,
bitch?
it's
But
both-
Johnny
both,
Depp's. Yeah, Johnny Depp.
Those are both pretty crappy situations. I would take the bed sheets because I couldn't be around Megan Rapinoe for 5 minutes
Yeah.
talking about anything. I could be meeting Megan Rapinoe for her to give me a bag of money, and I would still hate every second of having to be with Megan Rapinoe because Megan Rapinoe is the worst type of person. It doesn't matter who you love or what you look like. She's the type of person that thinks her beliefs matter more than your beliefs because she considers herself different from you. And in some people's eyes, different means better. And I will not be around Megan Rapinoe because I'm the type person, while I'll look at her, while all her friends and all these people are telling her how right she is all the time and how great she is and how she's a hero, I'll look at her, point, and laugh in her face. Like, I don't care.
So you feel pretty strongly about this?
Yeah,
Amber Heard's
I'll be
bed
the sheets. I'll
I
be
had
the
another
sheets.
one that was pretty good. But.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
one. We're
Okay,
talking
here we
about
go.
Google's sentient robot. How about
Oh, this is bad.
Would you rather live for a month with Google's new sentient robot Lambda, like a Roomba situation? It's just in the
I think
house,
it's
it's
just like
there,
a-
okay? Or go 3 rounds in the ring with Herschel Walker.
Okay, do we have the clip of that robot?
I don't know.
Do we have a clip of the
Hold
robot?
on, let me see. Do we have the clip of?
You have a clip of Cortana?
Yeah.
No, it's called Lambda.
Okay.
Or
Lambda or Lambda? It's
Lambda.
called Lambda.
Lambda.
All right. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I heard about this yesterday. So Google has created basically a sentient robot. After those two words came out together behind a sentient robot, I have one answer for you. You got to kill it. You got to kill it right now. Where is it? I'll go do it. Kill this thing right now. I don't unplug it.
Indestructible.
Whatever. Cone. They're talking to this thing and it's talking back, but not like, hey, it's good to see you. It's not like that.
we
It's
got
like,
past that in the
it's like,
70s.
hey man, what's up? No, it's a great day out here. By the way, we're gonna
late.
kill all the humans. Like, I'm just telling you. Kill this thing.
Too late.
Or whatever you do to computers. Pour a glass of water over it. Kill it now. The one guy was like,
it's over.
the one guy they were interviewing was like, oh, it's like a child. It's not smart. Well, get it now.
It's over with.
You said it earlier.
Will Smith's
getting
too old. So we don't have a hero out there destroying robots anymore. It's at this
I mean, he's
point,
just fighting Chris
it's over.
Rock now.
It's already talking to toasters, setting up
Kill it.
like the TV and him are
Microwaves,
talking. They're all talking.
Like, the
now.
funny part
So
of
you're
this-
not going to be able to stop it. You're just not.
The funny part of this is I am being 100% serious. I don't know what laboratory, black site, underground layer under a volcano y'all are keeping this thing in. But for everybody at Google and everybody else is trying to build this thing, from humanity, stop it. Kill it.
I don't know how you
Now,
can have this
I'll
thing
do it. Tell
in
me
your
where it
house.
is.
Like, I couldn't have this thing in my house and fall asleep.
Well, that's
No.
what I'm saying. So you're going 3 rounds with Herschel then?
Yes.
How long do I have to live with? How long do I have to be?
A month. In your
Well,
your
wait a
house.
minute. Wait a minute. I'd kill it the first day. So actually, you know
you're not
what?
killing this.
I'm gonna go, no. Give me the sentient robot.
So you can
put
be
it in the
the
house so
one.
I can be the one. All Will Smith.
First month,
this thing.
Hey, and then if we don't see,
I
Blake
need
the
to
next
learn.
day-
I need to. I'll go with it for a month. I need to learn about it. What's his weaknesses?
No, you don't. Here's what you need to know.
Future thing.
Here's what you.
like. If I were
Hey,
to hide
Blaine,
from
can you
you,
see
where
Blaine?
would I have to
Hold on.
hide?
Can you see Blaine just like sitting, like busting out the chess
Yeah.
set against this thing first night? Like, let's figure it out.
Have you
I would
guys
just-
seen
I would
War of
just
the
be
Worlds?
Trying to outsmart it every day.
Have you guys seen War of the Worlds? You know what's gonna. I'm telling you what's gonna happen.
Halo?
The way it's probably go down is it'll probably somehow find a way to communicate with some sort of alien AI
It'll
civilization out there and beacon that
It's
thing on in
already
here.
in the White
And then Tony Stark, Captain America, Nick Fury's got to have to hit the whole game together. Peter Parker's got to get his head out of his ass, and the rest of the group, and they're going to have to save us because these guys didn't kill this thing when they had the chance. So that's fine. I'll do it. I will do it. Tell me where it is. I'll Owen Wilson this whole thing.
I mean,
Give me Tom Cruise, put me in an F-16, drop me off somewhere, and I'll kill it.
Like this thing, like will get to the point where it's just taking over humans, like outsmarting humans. Like
It's already there.
I'm surprised right now if I don't walk outside and things are blowing up.
No, let me give
Cars
you an
are on
example.
fire. There's the news, like that one TV with the news channel on. That's
Here's how different it is. Here's how different it is. I consider myself decent at math. You give me a piece of paper, I can do addition, I can do subtraction.
Really?
Hell, I can do long division. If you keep the letters the same, I can even do algebra. But
not
the minute it starts getting past that, guess what I gotta do? I gotta go to the calculator, which is basically a little robot that's built into a bigger robot that has all the answers I need for anything. Imagine if this thing, well, it already is. Imagine this thing grew arms. I'm dead.
Transformers. Like
It's Transformers.
Turn things like this laptop right here. Think about right now. If boom, they popped alive. Like right now, it'd be cameras, laptop, TVs. You know how many things we have to fight?
We're dead.
You know how many things? Look above you.
We're dead.
You'd have to fight that light.
And on that note, I'm going over the board.
Like, what's it gonna do to me?
What's it
just
going
gonna,
to
like,
do
roll-
to you?
It's gonna blind you.
Y'all seen a lot
with
of movies.
light.
It's gonna blind me.
You haven't even heard, they made a song about it. Blinded by the Light?
The
That's about a
movies are
robot
coming to
invasion.
life, David.
A lot of people don't know that. That
Everyone
movie's about
saw a
robot
lot of
invasion.
movies about this. You've never played Halo, but you'd understand. That's Cortana.
What's Halo? All right, I was kidding.
Yeah, no.
I
Like,
was
at that
kidding on
point,
that. I
we're
just
gonna
like
turn
look.
the
I
show
gotta
off.
press your button sometimes. We're talking about robots, you know.
I mean, that.
Hey, just kidding.
You know what
Let's
Halo is.
let's get to the board.
You know what Halo is?
Halo,
yeah.
it's the Xbox game.
Speaking about sentient
Continue.
robots.
And you do stuff on it.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Speaking about sentient robots, Baby Cone's 40 and 23 overall. So there's been a lot of the
Is
jury's
he
still out.
really?
40 and 23?
Talking about robots.
Dude.
40. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And we just walk in, your son's working on Lambda.
Yeah.
But look what I made, Daddy.
Like, look
Look what I made.
He built a Lambda out of an Etch-a-Sketch.
Ask it a
toaster.
question.
Yeah. So, all right, here's what I got tonight after the Lightning looked me in the eyes and laughed. And not in a good way. Or like my summer camp counselor used to. Anyways, give me Ole Miss money line plus 104. That's right. That's right, producer Addy. Everybody in Fayetteville. Y'all know I got y'all going 6-2, finishing second in the West in football. But tonight, it's Ole Miss's time.
Are they beating Auburn or not?
Who?
Arkansas.
Arkansas will lose to Auburn at Auburn.
You talking about football?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, he said
y'all
at
switched
first
up
he
on
said
me.
Arkansas was going to beat Auburn.
Yes, I
Y'all
changed
switched
my
up
mind
sports on me.
because that was literally a month and a half before the preseason predictions came out.
just
I
love
really
that
sat down
TikTok.
and thought about it. Can I make my picks?
I mean, you can.
Yeah, thanks. Ole Miss money line in baseball. Not change my mind on that. Then give me the Yankees first 5 minus a half and plus 115. I was surprised that was plus 115. Man, that money looks super duper good.
Here you go.
So give me Ole Miss money line plus 104. Yankees first 5 minus a half at plus 115. Conathan.
Hey, I'm gonna take Arkansas money line. Let's go. Woo Pig Suey.
Really?
Arkansas money line, minus 115, and we're going to figure it out.
I can dig it.
I've got to come back in the month. And Padres, first 5, minus a half, minus 105. Double baseball picks. And like I said, Jake, here you go.
Thanks.
Yep.
Hey, Blaine.
Cool. Hit the button for me, Dave.
Which one?
You know which one.
Which one do you want?
Come on. Look at my record.
Huh?
Look at my record.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Oh, somebody kill me, please.
Okay. Well, I've been just guessing the last week. I need units, but at this point, I mean, it's hurt I'm under the overall record.
Yeah, dude, I saw it today.
I was up like 20 before this month started. So
No, you weren't.
not up. I've seen.
Like,
up
his
in my-
overall record, he was like 20 above 500.
Calm down, buddy. I don't know about you, but this is what I'm taking. All right. Give me the Yankees first 5 minus a half. Can't wait for that not to hit.
Wait, I got the same bet.
Can't wait for that not to hit. All right, then give me the Padres Phillies at the exact score, 5-2. No shot. No shot.
Who wins?
Plus 30. If the Padres win, it's plus 38.
38.
So if you're down like 10 units right now. So if you hit this one, you're going to be up like 28 units.
Yes.
This is gonna
It's a long
This
shot.
is going to talking about changing the game. You're going to completely change how we enter a month.
Yeah, Blaine's going to go 2-27 in a
and
month
win the month.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
look,
like, well, I
you
made
gotta-
$8 million.
You got to get it how you live. I'm running out of time.
Yeah,
At this point, like maybe I jumped the gun too early on running with the odds. Maybe I should have just done classic bets until I got to the last 3 days and then try to do
Well,
it.
again, we're in month 4. We're figuring it out, man. We're figuring it
Yeah,
out.
I know, but I haven't figured out. But I'm trying to figure it out by figuring out.
Hey,
It's just not figured out.
I think
Oh, well,
You're doing a
it
great
sounds like
job.
you know what you need to do? You need to figure it out.
I think you're doing a great job.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's up
There
interpretation.
you go.
Anyway, Baby Cone.
Appreciate it.
Baby Cone is taking the Yankees Astros Nerfy at minus 125.
Nerfy?
That's no run.
Nerfy?
Then Cubs, Orioles, men, women, light, dark, first 5, under 5, minus 120.
White Sox.
White Sox, I'm losing my mind.
White Sox. Orioles.
White Sox losing my mind. The Cubs aren't in the American League, and this is an interleague.
You come
play.
to my house, see my wife's name right.
Her name's Christina.
I saw that movie. I watched that one.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about your team.
Did you watch Celtic Pride yet? Of course you did.
No, but
I'm
I've been
gonna watch that
watching.
with you.
I watched
wanna watch-
Warrior that y'all told me about. I watched.
Here you go.
There you go.
I want
Thank
to watch Celtic Pride with you.
Great. I can't wait.
I haven't
I'll
seen
watch
the new
it.
Top Gun yet.
How many movies have you
You haven't
watched
seen
that I
Top
told
Gun
you
Maverick?
about?
Get out of the studio.
How many films have you watched that I told you about?
I watched Tombstone the other day.
Did you?
Wait a minute. Wait, stop.
Hold on, hold on. Tell us about
Time out.
Tombstone.
Wait, was that your first time ever watching Tombstone? Get out of the studio.
No.
Well, he watched it though.
Yeah, you get out.
I want to hear.
It's
about it.
you're alive for 27 years
What do you think?
and you didn't watch Tombstone?
really good.
I'm your Huckleberry.
I'll be a Huckleberry.
Wired Up is my friend.
Yeah, that was good. It's really good.
Dude, Doc Holliday is my spirit animal, dog.
Yeah, I've never watched it. I never even knew that it was a thing.
Consumption, man. They got the best of them.
Hey, I have one more trivia question before we go to
let's
the
do it.
Booster
Let's
Club.
do it. Let's do it.
Which pick was Kobe Bryant taken with?
He was taken with the number 3 overall pick.
5th.
13th.
God, I thought it was
1996
16th.
by the
13th?
Hornets. By the Hornets,
Yeah,
and then traded to the Lakers for who?
Oh, it was somebody not that good.
Well, somebody was supposed to be good.
Lottie Divac.
Divac, yeah.
Apparently, like the 13th pick is like,
Lucky number 13.
no, it's just like the 13th pick in the first round has just been killing everybody.
Well, we'll see who goes 13th tonight. All right, Booster Club Pick Tracker 2022. AD. Nate Dogg 2022 is 5-0. He wants the Padres money line. Lava Leech 4-0. He wants the Orioles money line plus 132. Neff Dink is 2-0. She wants the White Sox first 3 money line at minus 150. Private Chonky is 2-0. Wants the White Sox money line. Scotty in Texas hopped in hot 2-0. Wants the Braves money line. Bracket Dom wants Jaden Ivey to be picked 4th in the NBA draft at minus 200. B. Cercio's 1-0. Shocker there. He wants the Braves money line, minus 167. Buckhorn Dave's 1-0. Giants under 7.5 runs. And Braves over 2.5 runs. A parlay bet at minus 200. Then Corey Collins 3. Welcome to the fam. He wants whatever the over is in the Phillies and Padres. You're brand new? Well, I'll look it up for
I
you.
believe it's 9.5.
9.5. That a boy. Quitter 16 is 0-8. Wall of shame. Hell, what do we call it? The Hell of Fame? Something like that. Astros first 5, money line at plus 105. So whatever you do not take the Astros first 5 money line. Wait a minute. I've got the Yankees minus a half for the first 5 at plus 115. You're doing the Lord's work, Quater 16. You are doing the Lord's work. And if this works out, open up your DMs. I got a surprise for you.
Braves won 7-6.
The Braves won 7-6.
6.
Wow, that hit. Well, obviously, Giants under 7.5 runs, Brave over 2.5 runs, so that hit. Scotty in Texas is now 3-0. B. Cercio is now 2-0. Wow.
Cercio.
Yes. Parting thoughts.
Parting thoughts.
You got the trivia? You already asked it.
Yeah, I already asked it. I already asked the Kobe Bryant trivia.
You got anything that's really on your mind, Cone, that you just want to get off? Just tell everybody about right now.
I just, it's a good day. It's a good day.
Okay.
I'm a little bit, I'm confused with the sentient robot situation.
Well, what are you confused about with it? Let me help you. Because it's a big deal for all of us.
Yeah, it seems like that's a villain. That's a villain they've created, but at the same time, maybe it could help humanity. I don't know.
See,
someone created Jeff Bezos.
Someone
He's a
that
villain.
thinks like you is the reason this is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my approach for it. I'm not going to build or design something that is smarter than me and also has the capability on its own with its own thoughts to not only communicate with me but to kill me.
Just leave it alone,
I can understand that a gun, okay, if a gun is sitting there, is dangerous. But I feel a lot better about a gun than I do about a sentient robot not killing me. I would take the gun. The gun is not going to get up, have a conversation with me, watch me pour a cup of coffee, and then shoot me by itself when I turn my back.
I'm not trying to go find aliens.
I'm not that guy either.
I'm not the guy. I'm not sending the radio waves out to go find
Man, I'm with
them.
you 100%.
If we get found, then we get found. They're smart enough to find us.
Is that what this thing was created for?
No. This thing was, look, they're trying to create like a legitimate robot that I think can help people. But we've already seen what happened in iRobot. We've already seen it.
We did see that.
We saw it with our eyes.
I was like, if you're going to make them, just don't make them look like the things from iRobot.
Don't make them.
They have to be small. All right, they have to be small and easily to be caught.
Made out of like glass.
And taken care of. It can't be like made out of the steel from the dark side of Mars.
Yeah.
Did y'all see Ex Machina?
What did you call it?
What did you just call Blake?
Ex
Ex
Machina?
Machina? Oh, wow. I didn't call it that. I don't want to.
You mean Axe Machina?
That's one way to put it. Ex Machina. Did you see that one?
I don't like any of it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Because guess what? If I watch that movie, I may have an idea. Hey, I want to build one of those robots. You want to know why I don't have that idea? Because I don't watch that movie. You know what movie I did watch? iRobot. You know what they did to the robots? They killed them.
But Will Smith was in that one.
Look,
Now
you want to
he's
not watch Battleship, all right? Let's watch Battleship.
the one with Rihanna in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that actually happened. That's a true story. Not a lot of people know that's based on a true story.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What's that,
fact check
Prometheus?
that.
Have you ever watched Prometheus?
Yeah.
Dude, Prometheus.
Yeah. That's a prequel to the Alien series.
Yeah, well, that's never trying to find out.
Yeah,
Just be cool.
I don't wanna
You
know
what I'm
the
saying?
truth.
Just be cool.
Yeah,
Aliens, just be cool. Robots, look, it's not on them. That's on us.
That's on us.
That's on us. That's not on them.
If an alien civilization comes out of nowhere, finds us, and just takes us all out,
then that's
you know
what
what?
that was meant to be.
It happened.
Yeah.
It happened.
I'd be right.
But I would be remiss if I did not talk about how upset I would be if we caused our own destruction because we wanted to make the toaster be able to talk back to us. That's what would piss me off. That's where we're going to leave it. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms. And like the chances of robots not taking over the world as of yesterday, we're gone.